Wow, it's finally spooky season. I mean, I know it's only August, but it's basically spooky season. It's in the air, you can feel it, you can smell it, see it in the stores. Yeah, so I'm there. Mentally, I'm there. So, today's episode is going to be my top 10 favorite episodes of Goosebumps. This was requested by Zane Landon a long time ago, so thank you, Zane. I'm looking forward to this. First of all, I never read the books. Okay, I've read a couple of the books, but I didn't read the books back then because that was too scary. But in the past few years, maybe it's been like 6 years now, I began watching the show, and now I just watch it a lot, constantly. I love it. I'm gonna throw in some very crappy screenshots in this video just to kind of like jog your memory of which episodes I'm talking about, but sorry, I didn't go through like getting screenshots myself because time. Okay, let's go in order from least favorite to top favorite. Number 10, Click. Seth mail orders a universal remote control that controls his TV, his VCR, his stereo, and, as he discovers, reality itself. This is probably like the least Halloween-y one on this list, but it's still, I like the main character. I like the weirdness of this. I like how creepy that manufacturing company is every time he tries to reach out to them. I love watching corruption slowly overtake our main character, as well as watching the things that he chooses to manipulate. It's just a fun episode. It's one that I never usually skip. I am very confused about the Adam Sandler movie by the same title with the same storyline, and no one ever seems to be talking about that, but we won't get into that here. Let's move on to number 9. Number 9 is Calling All Creeps. Ricky plays a prank on his rival that gets the attention of some kids at school. It's soon revealed to Ricky that these kids aren't in fact human. They're reptilian aliens who are now very interested in Ricky. This one was really weird, fun, and just out there. It was very unexpected where it went. I like the whole underdog tale, and I like when the matters at hand become much larger than like who's cool and who's not. They become much larger than like trouble at school. You know what I mean? I like how it goes just beyond these tiny little adolescent problems. It goes beyond being human. This one was wacky, fun, bizarre, and it's just cool. Number 8, How to Kill a Monster. Gretchen and her stepbrother Clark stay at Gretchen's grandparents' house in the middle of a swamp. And when they're home alone, they discover that a monster has been locked in a room of the house. Oh, a Louisiana episode. I'm a Southern girl, so I always love the South as a setting. I love any horror that's like swampy, remote, hot, sweaty, sticky, Southern. This setting is rural, isolated, and a little inhospitable. And they have that nice twangy music playing. It's great. I love the contrast between Gretchen, who's comfortable there, and then her stepbrother Clark, who's a city boy and just totally not into it. The house and the grandparents are great. The monster is innovative and just creepy and very, very scary. This episode would have scared me as a kid. And I love how it ends. I love the whole story. And this is one of those episodes that you can feel and you can taste, and it is hot and spicy. Number 7 is Welcome to Dead House. The Benson family moves to a new town, Dark Falls. The town's residents seem strange, and Amanda keeps seeing ghosts in their new house. What exactly is going on at Dark Falls? This one has a nice, creepy, Halloween-y vibe as well, just kind of like gray, spooky, cloudy. Has a great reveal at the end. I love the overall plot line. I also love the trope of the family moving into a big house because they got it cheap, and it turns out there's a reason they got it cheap. Number 6, House of No Return. Chris is a new kid in town, and he promptly catches the interest of a local club, Danger Incorporated. They invite him to join them, and he's in as soon as he spends an hour in an old abandoned house, a house that's reportedly haunted. Your girl loves haunted houses, okay? And abandoned houses. So when I first saw this episode, and as soon as those kids were talking about their club, Danger Incorporated, I was like, I'm in. Like, this sounds great. I like dares. I like urban legends. I love everything about this. And I don't really want to spoil what's going on inside the house and how it ends, but it's got a great satisfying ending as well. Number 5, Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns. Wow, I can't say that. Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns. I'm sure y'all all know this one. This is one of those legendary episodes. When Drew and her friends trick or treat with their rivals, Tabby and Lee, they come upon 2 pumpkin-headed creatures who force them to trick or treat forever. This episode takes place on Halloween night. I love when the stuff actually takes place on Halloween night. I love trick or treating. That's like my favorite part of Halloween, and I love seeing all the costumes. It just really captures that childhood Halloween feeling. So I really love that. I love Drew, and I love the girl who plays Drew. She's a great character. And these jack-o'-lantern headed creatures are awesome and so scary. It's just perfectly Halloween-y. And this is one of those episodes where at the end there's just a huge mind-bending surprise and you're like, what? And that one's classic. Trick or treat forever. We're getting close to number 1. Number 4 is Werewolf of Fever Swamp. Grady and his family move to a remote swamp town so his scientist parents can conduct some research. The swamp is rumored to drive people mad. Grady takes in a dog named Vandal, and soon Vandal is getting blamed for local livestock attacks. Is Vandal responsible, or is there a werewolf in the woods? I might be lying if I said part of why I love this episode isn't because the parents are both from Degrassi. We have Ashley's mom and Terry's dad playing the parents in this episode, which is awesome. But again, we have the family moves to an old house in an isolated, rural, remote, swampy area that comes with a legend. I love the whole folklore of the swamp will make you ill. I think that's very cool. I love that there's only one other child there for Grady to play with. And I love werewolves. Number 3. Y'all know it's the Haunted Mask. Perhaps the most famous Goosebumps episode ever. Carly Beth steals a Halloween mask from a new store against the storekeeper's warnings. The mask begins to change her personality and meld with her body when she wears it. Is there a way to break the spell and remove the haunted mask? Yeah, this might be on everyone's favorite episode list, but like Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns, this takes place on Halloween night. It involves trick-or-treating and Halloween antics. We get time in the cemetery. We get time even in the pumpkin patch, I believe. All these places that I just love to see in Halloween imagery. I love seeing Carly Beth transform into this total psycho, and I love how scary the mask is and how terrifying it is to think about not being able to get that thing off. It's a really good episode. It's really effective, and it's a blast. Number 2, what do you think it's going to be? It's Werewolf Skin. Alex has been sent to Wolf Creek to live with his aunt and uncle for a while. The kids at his new school are often talking about werewolves, and skeptical Alex soon starts believing himself that there might be something to those legends. Another rural, woodsy setting that I love. I like it that these R.L. Stine characters usually have hobbies or special interests. So Alex is into photography. I love a character with a hobby, and then it plays a part in the story. Also, Hannah, she was on Degrassi, and she was also in a horror movie that I love called Five Girls. So love to see Hannah. And as the title would suggest, this story pulls from the folkloric beliefs that to become a werewolf, one has to don the skin of a wolf. It's a great time. This is my second favorite Goosebumps episode ever. And finally, we're here at number 1. And my number 1 is The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. Jody and Mark are sent to spend a month on their grandparents' farm, only to realize that not only are their grandparents changing, but it seems the scarecrows on the farm are actually walking about at night. I love scarecrows. I love farms. I like farm horror. Is that a thing? I love farm horror. Just something about like how isolated you are, but also just like the crops and the corn. Like you can't see anything in the corn, but you can hear it. It's just so creepy. And I love the peacefulness at the same time of barns and farmhouses and just the tranquility that you can find there and the simple way of life. But the fact that it is so isolated puts you in a very scary position. And I love scarecrows. I don't know why, especially when they come to life. This also has other themes, and I don't want to spoil, although I probably don't need to worry because most of y'all have already seen these. But I love the reveal. I like what we learn by the end of the episode. This one is absolutely my favorite. And there we have it. Those are my top 10 favorite Goosebumps episodes. I think it has such an effective way of like capturing the feelings of childhood and like young adolescence, and capturing like the imaginativeness, like the way we would think and perceive the world back then. And it's really fun and truly spooky. And I think sometimes in horror, we have the fear and the shock, but we're missing that spooky essence. I like a good spooky Halloween compatible atmosphere, and Goosebumps really delivers atmosphere that a lot of horror doesn't do for us. So I truly appreciate some of the more childish spooky media because it just has that whimsical Halloween-y feel to it. But soon after I started watching Goosebumps, I also started watching R.L. Stein's The Haunting Hour, which was like a 2010s series, which we always call it new Goosebumps. I'm gonna do a video soon probably about my top 10 favorite episodes of The Haunting Hour, so keep a lookout for that. In the meantime, tell me what your favorite Goosebumps episodes are. I'm curious to know. And enjoy the birth of Halloween season. It is coming upon us, my friends. Ciao for now.